Hi, my name's Chelsea, this is baby George, and welcome to our baby journey. Today, I'll be talking about my top 5 tips that help me survive the newborn stage. The newborn stage can be quite a challenging, exciting, but challenging stage of baby's life, especially as caregivers and parents. The following are 5 tips that particularly worked for me. I hope they work for you too. Number 1, accept help, but on your terms. Accept all the help that is offered. Do not decline. Don't feel bad. Don't feel guilty. This time in your life, in baby's life, is demanding, to say the least. It's round the clock, care that you're providing your baby. But it does mean that you will find looking after yourself and looking after, your house or wherever you're living can really fall by the wayside. So accept help, accept help from your parents, from your partner's parents, accept help from friends and from, siblings. Ask them to come over, but make sure that it's not at inopportune times for you. So, make sure that you're not just accepting help and they just turn up, 8 o'clock at night. That's not a great time for you. Make sure that you set boundaries. So if someone wants to come over and offer you help, say to them, that would be lovely, but could you come, at midday and bring me some lunch? Or do you feel up to coming over and doing a quick vacuum around my house? Those are the things that are really going to help you. Number 2, take a little extra time preparing and setting things up for yourself to save, stress and time later on. This in particular is probably for those times, those midnight feeds, those 2 a.m., 4 a.m. feeds. If you set yourself up in the afternoon or the early evening, make sure you get all your nappies ready to go. So if you see that your little nappy stash is starting to dwindle, maybe send your partner out to go pick up some nappies. Set your nappies up, make sure you've got wipes ready to go, make sure your bin's not too full. If you're formula feeding, make sure you've got formula maybe pre-made. Make sure you've got sterilized, boiled sterilized water ready to go. Get these little things ready or in the fridge. If you're breastfeeding, make sure you've got your breastfeeding spot set up and ready to go so that when you do have to go and wake up at, midnight, 4 a.m., whenever, it's not such a hard time. You can just pick up baby, quickly change a nappy, go get yourself set up and just sit down so that it's not going to take you 15 minutes to do all those things. It's only maybe going to take you 5 minutes to do all those things, and then you can just set yourself up. Number 3, make sure you have a decent stock of onesies, swaddles, and nappies. This will alleviate the amount that you have to do washing up laundry and, trips to the shops and trips to the bin. This will really help in the long run. Don't feel like you need to have 50 onesies, but I had to change George's nappy 12 times a day. There were occasional blowouts from his nappy, and that meant that I also had to change his clothes more than a few times a day. If I had to do laundry more than twice a day, I think that would have been really difficult. So I think I probably had maybe 15 to 20 onesies. I was very lucky that I was able to get a big stash for quite cheap. But this meant that I only had to do laundry every second day. And that was such a big help on on me, but it was also a massive help just on my brain capacity. I really couldn't even, think about having to do laundry more than once every 2 days. So it really did help. Number 4, have a comfortable place to feed baby. Now, no matter whether you're formula feeding or breastfeeding, having a comfortable place to be while you are feeding baby is imperative to your back. It's imperative just to your mental well-being. We were lucky that we were gifted some really nice rocker recliners from my parents for Christmas. So that's where I will just set myself up and feed baby. But to be honest, any comfortable armchair, if you can set yourself up in your bed, you know, get a few extra pillows and really set yourself up. That's going to really, really help in the long run, because when they're a newborn, they will take half an hour to an hour every single feed. So you are sat there for that entire time. If you have somewhere comfortable to be, and you know, if you can set yourself up in front of the telly so you can watch Netflix, that also really helps. It's hard just to kind of sit there constantly, you know, for 30 to 45 minutes to an hour while your baby gets through their feed and, you know, not do anything. So you want to make sure you've got a comfortable position, make sure it's good for your back, good for your neck. Don't kind of slouch too much. You want to make sure that you are well set up. Number 5, keep yourself well fed and hydrated. This seems obvious, but it's actually really hard to do, especially with a newborn baby. My top tip for keeping hydrated is to have a drink bottle. My drink bottle, I think, only carries maybe 600 mils, but you know, get a drink bottle up to 2 liters and just have it sat next to you. Refill it when baby's napping. But yeah, just always have it handy, because it actually it reminds you to drink. And for those mums who are breastfeeding makes you very, very thirsty. So if you have your 1 liter drink bottle next to you, you keep taking sips. Sorry, you keep taking sips while baby's feeding. To keep well fed, I just suggest, you know, having healthy snacks around. Yeah, snacks like fruit, but also, you know, things like muesli bars. They really helped me. So at 5 a.m. when I was doing, you know, kind of the early feed, breakfast feed, I would get so hungry. So being able to just quickly dash to the pantry, grab myself a muesli bar and then sit back down with Bub really, really, really helped. Other snacks, you know, having a pre-made sandwich, that really helps. Tins of tuna, because they're just easy to grab. Things that are easy to grab, cheap, and easily eaten while feeding Bub are things that you want to keep well stocked up in your place. Those were my 5 top tips for surviving the newborn stage. But if you have any really cool suggestions, please comment them below. I am always loving to hear from you guys and to learn new things. If you enjoyed today's video, please like and subscribe to Our Baby Journey. I'll see you next time.